Hello everybody, my name is Ace. Today I am actually trying out a Retribution fit for soloing T3 Electrical Abyss. So it's actually stupidly expensive, but I wanted to do it so that I could actually find a way to do some solo T3 Abyss in the frigates, because it seems, generally speaking, that it's pretty hard to actually do solo T3 Abyss in the frigates. In general, I've had an extremely hard time. The kiting Retribution fits, IBAD T Jewelry actually has proposes a lot for using in the Abyss. Unfortunately, I can't really seem to get it to work solo. It does work like sometimes solo in the T3 Abyss. I've definitely done that, but for something consistent, it doesn't seem to have. It seems to have big problems. It has a bit to do with there's multiple reasons. It is because when it comes to the Abyss, or Frigate Abyss in general, there are certain waves that you'll have big problems with, actually, when it comes to how do you say, surviving when it comes to kiting. Because a lot of the people who do actually do Frigate Abyss, they rely on reducing their DPS a lot by actually kiting and actually dodging the DPS. They don't face tank like cruisers, right? The only thing is, in the Damavik waves, the anchoring Damavik waves, they will get you almost straight away and tackle you, and it's really hard to not die to those if you're in solo, because they'll just tackle you, keep you in place, and you don't have enough DPS to kill them before they actually manage to get all the Vedmax and everything in range and just annihilate you. You can sometimes beat them in a solo kiting Retribution, but I'm going with a different philosophy right here. So I've got a really expensive ship. This is on the test server because I think it would be stupid to use this on the Tranquility. This whole thing is worth 1 billion, including the implants. Basically, 2 armor repairs here. Reactive armor hardener for extra hardening of the armor. We've got an auxiliary nano pump, makes us do a lot of armor repairing. You see, 96 HP per second. This is cruiser level HP per second right here. We've got we've got these mid-grade Asklepians that really help a lot, give us a really good DPS. Because we're going to be face tanking stuff here, we're going to then do the close range weaponry, because also for solo, Frigate Abyss has a bit of an issue in that not only this thing with regards to kiting and the anchoring Damaviks that can really hold you in place, but also DPS and time. Times is sometimes a bit of a problem when it comes to these solo frigate runs, because a single frigate often doesn't do a whole lot of DPS, and sometimes you can have problems when it comes to the battleship rooms, especially, that take a long time. So that's why since we're going to be face tanking stuff, we're going to then be going with the short range weaponry. The short range weaponry will allow us to do crazy amounts of DPS, and also we'll be actually tracking really good, because just in general the short range weaponry tends to track a lot better than actually the long range weaponry. So we're going to start form a fleet. So we can get this thing started. There we go. Now we're going to use this instead 3 frigates, instead of to wait until this session time has changed, actually. But we're going to go into the Abyss. Just go and see if we survive. We should survive. We've got a lot of EHP per second, and we're going through T3. I mean, T3 is not too crazy. We've got cruiser level tank, and we're going into the T3, which is pretty easy. I mean, T4 would be way too hard, but T3, I think definitely it'll be possible. And we do pretty high DPS for frigate. See, this 400 DPS for frigate is really good. So we'll go in and see how this goes. Hopefully we can avoid relevant DPS with our Afterburner, but in the meantime, I think we'll be just going and blasting these guys down. I worry about these Vedmax, actually, because the Vedmax, they will actually do a lot of DPS if they spool up, because we'll be able to speed tank them, but they'll actually ramp up still, even if we are speed tanking. And because of that, we will actually, if they do land wrecking shots, there is a likelihood we can die. And honestly, I don't feel like this is so practical, because this is a really expensive fit we're going with. If we're going with an expensive fit, it would be unfortunate to lose it to a wrecking shot. It's a lot less likely that you'll lose these expensive fits. Oh, we need to activate that reactive. It'll be a lot less likely that you lose these cruiser fits to the the wrecking shots, because of just how much EHP you have. But you can actually sometimes get one-shotted in some frigate fits, at least it seems like, when it comes to the Frigate Abyss. Now let's see now. We're taking a lot of damage. It's actually pretty impressive what these red max are able to spit out, and I'm not even able to speed tank them in any way or shape or form. Their DPS or their speed is pretty high actually. Okay, there we go. Now we'll start shooting them. I want to get close. I want to be able to use my short range ammo, but they're too fast, these guys. It's really annoying. Let's start getting a little bit closer here. Is this a multi-body tracking pylon? No, it's a deviant automata suppressor. Okay. These guys are going to get hit really hard when they decide to hit because they're spooling up all the time now. It's really annoying that I can't hit. I would have loved to be able to use Conflag, but it doesn't seem like I'm able to afford that luxury right now. See, we've got the reactive arm hardener, which helps a lot actually. We've been able to reactively have our armor hardening adapt to our resistance type that these guys are doing. So it's really good in that regard, but we're pretty slow actually because we're using the Scorch ammo, 250 DPS. We'll almost do double that with the Conflag, but we unfortunately don't have that range. We can't use that, like the range aspect here. Yeah, glass is shot 300 damage. Wow. This is more like, for me, this is more a way to just test, see what's possible. I definitely don't think this would be a good thing to use on Tranquility, just because a wrecking shot will be really ruin your day. And look at that, just a smashing shot or half the armor like that, a wrecking shot will actually kill me. A wrecking shot, it just has to be on 1% chance, I think, they will actually kill me, and that doesn't to me seem to be worth it to get lose 1 billion worth of a frigate. But the IS we're getting, I mean, it's pretty good. I think it, technically speaking, well, we're doing 3 times the amount as T3. It will be about 1.5 T4 size, so that is pretty good IS actually. But the only thing I'm thinking is that there's also always that aspect of being able to lose your ship to a wrecking shot. Also, it has a bit to do with the time of doing these sites is going to be pretty slow because we're going to obviously have a lot less speed than a Gila doing T4 sites because of our DPS is all going to be a lot less. Then again, the T4 sites will have more NPCs. We're doing T3 sites, so we're going to get T4 level loot from this site, but we are going to be doing them a bit faster. Well, there's going to be less stuff to kill just because it is a T3. So maybe the time will be about similar, but I still think that in the end, the cruiser will actually earn, cruisers doing T4 will actually earn more ISK than this, I feel like. Or it depends maybe, because since we are doing the Frigate Abyss, these bioadaptives can sometimes give crazy amounts of filaments. So there's always the chance that you can get a lot of cataclysmic filaments that are really worth a lot, and you'll earn a lot of ISK that way. I'll see. Let's see what we get. Let's pop this cache right here and go to the next room. So this is one of the waves I was worried about, this Vedmak wave, but it was alright. I mean, we were up against... Actually, that was pretty easy, to be honest, because it was only 2 Vedmaks and a Damavik. I'm a bit surprised there, because in T3 sites, there should be 3 Vedmaks. It just has to... I have encountered waves of 3 Vedmaks, so it seems like this is a bit too cheaty. Usually what happens is in the Triglavian waves, I notice is that they have either 3 Vedmaks or 2 Vedmaks and a lot of Damaviks. But we only had 1 Damavik here, so I think that's a bit strange, actually. Oh, look at that. Do you see that? We've got a lot of ISK right there. Or I think so, at least. These filaments are... Oh, yeah, that definitely... That Chaotic Electrical, that'll be worth a lot, actually. So we'll go here and do the transfer conduit. I think actually doing these T3 sites in the frigates will be just so much better to just have a friend and you guys use 2 kiting retributions. The kiting retributions, they seem to just dunk the T3 sites in just 2 of them. That seems to do really well when it comes to doing the T3 sites. Much more better with just 2 80mm retributions than having to go for this really expensive single retribution right here. But then again, maybe some people really want the challenge to do it solo. That's really possible right there. Here, I'm going to go for these Dramiels and Echoes. These guys, they're going to hold me in place. They're going to do a lot of tackling. But the good thing here is that these guys are going to be very close. So we'll be able to actually use Conflag. We're going to use Conflag and do a lot of DPS actually. So that'll be good. So hopefully we'll survive this. We're going to take a lot of damage because these angels, they do apply pretty hard. So it's a pretty dangerous wave, I think. But I have a feeling that we'll be able to tank these guys without any major issues. And look here, the one I'm focusing on is exactly the one that doesn't webify me. That's just my luck right there. Okay, actually, I'm gonna focus on the Cinnabal right here because the Cinnabal's too far away. I think it'll be too far away for me to apply maximum DPS. Or maybe we'll apply some DPS, but he's still quite far away, and I think we're building Webify so hard, so I can't even get close to him, actually. Yeah, we're killing these frigates really fast. The Conflag is amazing. Absolutely amazing speed with killing these guys, and we apply so good. So even though Angel Waves, they sometimes can be a bit slow because it's hard to kill these tiny little frigates. They go so damn fast. We're still able to apply pretty good, actually, with the Conflag, just because of how we're using a light weaponry, not a medium weaponry. And we also are using the close range variant, which will then have, you know, more tank or more tracking, I'm saying. Okay, there we go. Now, basically, all Webifiers are gone apart from this Cinnabal right here. So we'll take out this Cinnabal. We've got Burst over there, and he's probably giving some logistics aid to this guy right here. I wonder if he is. Is he? Yeah, he's giving probably some shield boosting. That's really annoying. Because if that'll make it so that we'll have a longer time to get through this guy. But I think it'll be alright. It's just one little measly logistics frigate. I'm just wondering if I can actually maybe just go towards this guy. Actually, no. Because if I go towards this guy will get out of range. I won't be doing any damage. I was thinking otherwise of going towards this guy and killing him, because he's anyway towards the bioadaptive cache. So I'll save time in that regard. But I feel like if I go towards him, then the Cinnabal is going to be out of range, and I basically will be doing no damage then. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll try. I'll go towards the bioadaptive. We'll go here and see if we actually are out of range. We can actually just switch over to Scorch, to be honest. That's actually a possibility right there. And we'll be able to do damage all the time. Because, you know, stuff in the Abyss, you save a lot of time by actually going right paths to be able to go to the loot caches, you know. It helps a lot. You see that we took a wrecking shot, and actually I was surprised that we only did like 40% of our HP, so that's actually pretty good for a wrecking shot. Like, I'm used to wrecking shots in Frigate Abyss doing all your HP, but that's not the case here, at least. Really good, really good. Elite Lucifer Cinnabal. He is getting wrecked. He is getting wrecked. We are in the range of this Lucifer Burst right here. We'll be able to use Conflag on him very soon. This auto-target system here, I just put it here because it just basically uses no fitting requirements. Just put it there, and it can be helpful, you know. You want to lock up stuff when you're mid-combat. You don't even have to click. It just locks up everything for you. Oh, look how fast that burst goes down. So quick. So quick. So good. We could obviously be quicker, actually, if we had use a Pyrolancer, actually. A Pyrolancer will make us do even more damage. That drug that makes your turrets do more damage. I mean, 400 DPS with the Conflag. Really good DPS, but we'll do even more, actually, before we go with the Pyrolancer. Really good. Let's grab this. A way we could actually have more tank is actually just to use one of these, maybe like Agency Hard Shell or something. If you have the, I think it's Biology skill, trained to max, then you'll be able to actually have the booster, I think, last a whole hour. And that'll actually be quite good because you can run many sites in an hour. So it actually maybe would be, you'd be more tankier than you actually would be in your ship. Maybe we could even have reduced the implants or something, made the ship cheaper even. Alright, let's go to the next site. Let's see what we have here. What is here? Baby easy. Rogue drone. So basically, we'll have completed the site. That's really good, actually, knowing that I've actually managed to do a T3 site solo in the Retribution. I've actually tried this before, and I went with a low grade Asklepians, and I had instead I had of this heatsink here, I had an Imperial Navy multi-spectrum armor hardening, and that like maybe really tanky, but it will give me bigger buffer, and that was very good. But on the other hand, the Asklepians are very strong, so they helped me in that regard. And I wanted to have a bit more DPS just so I could complete the sites in a more reasonable amount of time, because I got a very big DPS boost from that second heatsink. Actually, it was really nice to have that. And that can actually be quite important when you're going in the solo abyss, to have a decent amount of DPS, actually, because I have, the first time I ever tried using a Hawk in the abyss, the Hawk is the Caldari Assault Frigate, this one right here. It can actually achieve extremely high amounts of tank, actually, this Hawk ship right here, because it has bonuses to its shield boosting capabilities. And because of that, or because of it having such a good shield boosting capabilities, I thought, okay, that'll be a very good solo frigate. And it definitely can do solo frigate abyss, but I was thinking that it could do a solo dark frigate abyss. And I was thinking that doing dark, because The dark sides, you know, they have reduced optimal range of turrets, and because of that, the turrets, you know, they'll have a harder time of stuff hitting me, and they don't affect missiles. The Hawk is a missile-based ship; it'll just be natural to go with dark sides. But since it is in a dark side, there is no like resistance that's reduced. Because there is no resistance that's reduced, stuff takes a very long time. I got, no joke, 3 Abyssal Overminds in a row. And I died to time in a T2. Because it was not because my tank was bad. I had really high tank, actually. Really high tank. I was able to face tank probably everything in a T2 side really easily. And even easier in the dark side just because of nothing being able to hit me. But time was the issue there. I was not able to kill stuff, and I was using light missiles on that Hawk. Maybe if I had gone with the rockets, it would be possible, but with the light missiles, definitely wasn't possible to do that in a reasonable amount of time with those unlucky spawns I got. If I had done an exotic, which would have reduced kinetic resistance, then it would have been a lot better. I am able to do those sides pretty good, well, in the Hawk actually, in a solo T2. But the point is, DPS doesn't matter when you're doing the solo abyss, especially if you get battleship rooms, then you will have problems if you have not enough DPS. But when it comes to this Retribution right here, we're really good. We're really good, actually. Let's take actually a screenshot right here. This looks like a pretty good scenery, actually. Oh, yeah, I think this scenery in the background, it looks pretty good. I'll see if I can take like a screenshot here. If we move a little bit towards the rocks, I'll take a screenshot. All right, there we go. I've taken a bunch of screenshots right now. I did a bit of a model display of this Retribution. Okay, let's go and finish the site. Okay, the time is about 14 minutes, but I would say it's 13 minutes because I took a bit of time taking those screenshots right there. So all in all, it seems to work pretty well. This Retribution seems to be working pretty well. Let's see how much loot we got, actually, because we got quite a bit of loot, chunk of loot from this site. This entropic radiation sink is actually going to be worth about 10 mil, something like that. So we'll go in Eve Praise to see what we get. Wow, that is a lot of money, actually. Okay, 74 to 165 million. Okay, I don't know why the price is ranging so much. Let's see now. Like the difference in price is really high, actually. Oh, it's because of this entropic radiation blueprint. They're putting that at a weird price. So if we just remove this, let's see what we get. There we go. Now, okay, 65 million. 65 million from one site in a frigate seems really good. Really good ISK right there. I mean, I can imagine I was pretty lucky as well, but still, it was pretty good. All right, there we go. Super Bling Retribution soloing T3 Abyss. It works. Seems to definitely work. Would I recommend it? No, I would not recommend it because of the likelihood of wrecking shots is low, but they eventually will happen. We saw even that a Cinema actually managed to get a wrecking shot on us. If a Vedmag that spools off enough gets a wrecking shot on us, a battleship able to get a wrecking shot on us, then we will very likely die. And that doesn't seem to be worth risking a 1 billion worth ship and implants for. A possibility to change this would maybe be to go with like, maybe replace a heatsink with a assault damage control. That is possible. Or some other kind of tweak the fitting to have a bigger buffer. That is definitely possible, maybe, to be able to have something that can solo the T3 Abyss. All right, there we go. So hope you guys enjoyed this video right here. And if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.